Hi everyone, Sebastian Richard here again today with another Lead Like a Superhero inspirational quotes from the book Lead Like a Superhero. And today again we're going to go with Superman once more because I have another one and I'm just following the list. I'm just following the list from the book and I'm keeping the order that they are in the book. So here's the quote from Superman. I will give a short comment afterwards on that quote. And the quote is this: "There is a right and a wrong in the universe, and the distinction isn't that hard to make." Now, if we embark on this quote for a comment, I could actually spend an hour talking about it, because you embark on morals, you embark on ethics, which is not what I want to do. I just want to go on basic right or wrong. I think that's what Superman was aiming at when he said that in the comics. It's just knowing what is basically right, what is basically wrong. I think every human being is endowed with a conscience. First of all, the first thing is we all have a conscience that was given to us by God, and we know from the inside on a general basis what is right or wrong. And we know that whenever we do something that hurts someone else, well, that's wrong. So that's the thing with conscience. Number two, and my personal favorite, the Ten Commandments. Whether you're religious or not, the Ten Commandments are a great basis for morality, for right or wrong, and that applies for all countries, all religions, all bases. The Ten Commandments are pretty much universal for judging whether a thing is right or wrong. So I like them for that reason. And if you're anti-religion, well, you can always fall back on the third one, which is not really my favorite. It's basically the laws set forth in our communities, countries, cities by the governments. And obviously those laws are very, very discussable and arguable, to be honest. Some are good, some are not so good, but on a general basis, especially in the West, we have laws that are there, that are put in place to protect us, and that usually keep us walking in a straight line. But of course, that is very arguable. So if you're anti-government, you can always fall back on the first two, your conscience. And if you're anti-religion and anti-government, well, you can always just say, you know what, I'm going to follow my conscience. Unless you're a psychopath. And if you're a psychopath, that proves to be a big problem. So that's why I gave you three to follow, to fall back on, to make a judgment call on whether an action or behavior is right or wrong. So that's what Superman said. He said the distinction isn't that hard to make, and I believe he's right. On the whole, the distinction isn't really hard to make as to whether an action is good or bad. So you can take Superman's advice to the bank. When you look at the universe, when you behave on a daily basis, when you interact with others, there is a clear distinction between right and wrong. And sometimes, yes, you'll have some choices to make as what course of action you're going to take. And that's where wisdom comes in. But that's for another live, for another time. We're just talking about a general moral judgment on whether a thing is good or bad. And those things fall on three things. Those judgments fall on three main things: your conscience, religion, or what we call the Ten Commandments. For those of you who are not religious, but the Ten Commandments are still a very good basis. Or sometimes the laws set forth by our governments and municipalities and communities. On that, well, I wish you a good and moral day. So have a good and moral day and be good to your fellow man. All right, take care. Bye-bye.